Hello guys, Kevin Rogers. Welcome back to the channel. It's cleanup day around the shop. Got a lot of stuff to do. We got crap everywhere. We got deer corn on the ground. We got lures that need sorted. We got fishing poles that need strung up. We got cold clips trying to get oiled back up. But before we do that, I did something pretty cool yesterday. Went fishing yesterday and had a pretty cool trip. I want to walk you through this little tip, this little tackle tip that I did yesterday that helped me catch more fish. Let's get into that now. Okay guys, let me real quick, just want to share this with you. I love tinkering. I'm out here in my shop and I'm not fishing, I'm tinkering, crappie stuff, bass stuff, whatever it is. I'm out here in the shop messing around with lures, rods, reels, all that good stuff. Yesterday we're in August here, hot, water temperature 87 degrees. Went bass fishing yesterday, not crappie fishing, and I had one of the best days I've had all year. I actually caught them on a whopper plopper. Well, actually the Berkeley Chapo. That guy put in some work yesterday. I've never caught him on this in particular. I know everyone else has. This topwater bait. I threw it. I just picked it up, threw it, and man, they destroyed it. My first four casts, I had two over 3 pounds. Pretty awesome day. I also caught some on one of the coolest topwater baits of all time, I think. I kept the old nasty hooks on there because it's the practice bait, but that's that saltwater super spook, and caught some on that too. Something you could notice about these lures right here. Anything you see similar? The color, they're bone. Okay, well as the sun got up, as the sun got high, I'd go into the mouths of these creeks and coves. I was catching them on the points. I could go on the sunny side and I'd throw these topwater baits and they'd just stop. I didn't get a bite. I'd go to the shady side and boom, I'd catch a keeper. And as the sun got high, the sun was shining on both sides, they wouldn't hit it. They wouldn't hit it. They wouldn't eat it. I didn't get a hit after the sun got high. You know, the sun gets high, they can see that thing better. They're seeing it in the water, they can tell that it's fake. So I was like, man, I need something that'll now dive under the surface. So I started digging in my tackle box to find something that would dive underneath the surface and match that bone color. I dug in there and I found, this is a brand new one. I have one tied on over there that I actually use. This is a bone colored, this is a 6 cents. A pretty cool crankbait. It's got a metal lip on it. It's a square bill, but it's got a metal lip. And I caught some on it, but it was diving too deep. They were just right underneath the surface. They wouldn't come up and eat on top anymore. They were in that 18 to 12 inch range, right underneath the surface. I caught some before we get too deep, but the color was right. They still like the color. I dug in my box, and this is a new one. I dug in my box. This is an old school cotton cordell redfin jointed bait with a lip, and this sucker just dives that perfect depth, but it's the wrong color. It's chrome baits catch fish, sure. Cotton cordell, big O, one of my favorites crankbait. One of my first lures I ever used as a kid bass fishing was a cotton cordell, silver and black back, big O. Man, I loved it. So this is the same cotton, same color. Cotton cordell, been around forever. I dug this out, and it just wobbles under the water real slow, and these fish would follow it and follow it and follow it, and I went, color's not right. And I remembered something about, this is what I actually caught them on, about these particular baits, and a lot of baits, underneath them, underneath that silver, underneath that is bone. They sprayed over top of a bone lure to get that silver. I sat down in the boat. It clicked in my head. I sat down in the boat, took my pliers, and I just went to scraping, and showed that bone. And on my first cast, I caught a 4-pounder from going from this to that bone color. I don't know why. The fish loved it. Guys have been doing this forever. I think it's a Smithwick Rogue these guys would take and scrape the silver paint off of it. You'd have this bone color underneath. Yesterday, the particular lake I was on, particular time, they wanted bone. All these at Whopper Popper, Chapo rather, bone. So as soon as I scraped that thing down, I continued that party that was going on in the morning, right? I had a party going on in the morning with the top water. The party continued as soon as I scraped that off. Pretty cool. So just doing that in the boat. This is one I just took out of the package. I cut all the terminal tackle off of it. I'm gonna go to town on this guy, and we're gonna make this thing look just like this right here. That's what these fish wanted. Sometimes those small, itty bitty tricks like that can turn into a great day. And I haven't been doing a very good job of reading these bass so far. So we're gonna turn this one into bone color right now, because I'm planning on going back to this lake and fishing some more. So I'm gonna walk you through exactly how I'm gonna do this right now. I'm gonna use the old G3 as our workbench. I got me a sander. We're just gonna take this sucker and we're just gonna sand. We're just gonna why not just use a glide bait? You know, the coolest invention out there, the newest and greatest and awesome and blah, blah, blah. I had one that looked like a shad, right? And I would throw it out there and it would do, it darts, dude. If you ever throw one of these, it's cool. That's awesome, by the way. Glide baits are awesome. They're cool. This one's a really cool bait. I don't know who makes this, but this whole, look at that. That whole treble hook spins underneath there. That's how every bait should be made. Every crankbait should have that rotating treble hook underneath there, because the hookups on treble hooks, if you've bass fished at all, any kind of fishing, use treble hooks, the hookup sucks. These guys turn. But anyway, back to my story. Where'd my bait go? Why use this old school, been around forever, this jointed bait over the glide bait? This one has a bill on it. This doesn't have a bill. These slowly slink and they make the big wide glides. They would follow it and they wouldn't eat it. This guy here, I had an 8 to 1 gear ratio. I was firing out there and I was bringing it back home. They were just reacting to it. I couldn't get them to do that with the glide bait. That's why this one worked a little bit better over the glide bait. In a month from now, it's a little bit colder. Maybe this slow glide will work a little bit better. But that's why I use this. So something else I did that I learned from watching all these awesome YouTube videos and listening to all this stuff. Since I'm new to the bass fishing game, been in crappie forever. I don't even watch crappie YouTube videos anymore. I don't need to. I think I know enough. I don't know enough bass stuff at all. Something that I learned. So I'd hook them up and I missed like 2 in a row. And I'm like, I like getting the fish in the boat. Kind of important to me. And I remembered this little trick I did. This little trick I learned on YouTube and listened to Bass Talk Live. One of the guys on there said he wouldn't have made the Elite Series if he didn't do this trick. And that is 2 split rings on his treble hook. If you have enough room in the back there, why not do 2 split rings? It allows that hook to move around and be free so those fish don't shake it as bad. Pretty cool. So that's my little trick. That's something I did. I thought it was awesome. What I want to know is, what tinkering stuff do you do in your shop? What tricks, tips, techniques, little tinkering items like that you do to catch fish? I want to hear about them. I want to know about them. We all have something cool like that we do. Post them down below here. Let me know whether it's crappie fishing, bass fishing, I don't care. What's a trick or a tip that you do that you've had great success on? I'd like to hear them. Share them here. Comment down below. I'd like to see what you guys come up with, because fishermen are very forward thinking, because we all want the same thing, that next bite. So thank you guys for watching. And again, please like and subscribe to the video and help the old man out. Good fishing.
Squats.
Right.
Just make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on all the post notifications so you can get notified every time Kevin Rogers posts a new video.
Awesome.
Isn't that so cool?